Hi, this is Billie Beene here with another segment of Truth by Billie Beene Special Report. Today's date, March 5, 2023. This will be episode 521 new. This is my third YouTube channel. I have a subscribe button in the lower right corner of my screen. Thanks for like, subscribe, and share on YouTube and Rumble. Get your bug out bags ready. They could be a go. And continuity of government is in place. We understand. So let's get started. Some of my sources are God in the Bible, Patriot subscriber, Hal Turner, Israeli News Live, Best and Taylor with Night Shadows. Okay. We've been hearing, I think I put out in my most recent video, some continuity of government taking place. So continuity of government is often called COG, continuity of government. In the event of a nuclear strike on the U.S. or banks failing or other, a pandemic, say, continuity of government, which we saw practiced in the movie Sum of All Fears, would go to an underground bunker, we believe. And recently, a couple of days ago, I put out that the U.S. Federal government, we know we don't have a functioning government that's being operated by the deep state, we believe now out of Atlanta and New York, was prepping other locations in the United States to become a center, capital of the U.S. instead of Washington, D.C. We had Denver, Colorado, Omaha, Raleigh, Nashville, Atlanta. So that's going on. Now, Hal Turner, who was 15 years with the FBI and also did international work in coordination with the CIA and still maintains a lot of confidential sources, has come out with this and released this information last night that, and I have other sources. Stephen Benoon with Israeli News Live had been hearing information along these same lines 2 weeks ago. So, and Best and Taylor, Night Shadows, Kerrry, Cassidy had some additional information. I have multiple sources. In this video, I'm just giving us a heads up to begin prepping. So it's a good idea to have cash, food, water, pet food, medicine, stocked up to enough to last a few weeks. But definitely it sounds like it would be a good idea to get cash out of the bank, that there could be an issue with banks. Okay, so now Hal Turner, his information he received was that, and he's putting it out as rumor, but he was able to verify it and multiple sources, that Sunday night is when the U.S. government is going underground. Continuity of government will be in place. They call it going to the hotel. And the information that Hal has been able to find out is that senators and House of Representatives and other government agencies and their people are being told, get ready to go on Sunday. So that's going to be March. Today is the 4th. That'll be March 5, 2023. Get ready to go to the hotel for an indefinite period of stay. Now, Hal was able to contact various senators and find this out. One senator came out publicly and said he was going in the hospital from Pennsylvania for depression. Meanwhile, Hal was able to determine his family was leaving Pennsylvania for Canada. Oh, and Governor Mike DeWine, the governor of Ohio, we understand near East Palestine, Ohio, where we had that recent train derailment, and phosgene, a World War I a chemical weapon released on the people there, and dioxins and other things. General Mike DeWine, near East Palestine, Ohio, fell down a flight of stairs and broke his leg. He's going to be out of commission. Now, this is coming out. Supposedly, Dianne Feinstein in California is in a hospital for shingles. But I'll let you know that probably 5 years ago, the real flesh and blood Dianne Feinstein went into exile in China. She'd had a Chinese relationship and chauffeur for about 20 years. So now this Dianne Feinstein in California, along with, we know now, Newsom, is also an actor puppet, just like JB and other government officials. So that story is coming out, but the stories are coming out now to cover the absences of different senators and House of Representatives. So we have this. Now, Hal is verifying that he's been able to find out that next week, banks across the United States are pulling all of the credit that they've been giving to retail. So next week, we would say that's March 6th through March 10, retail banks are pulling all credit to retail. And could it be, we're speculating, are they also going to cancel credit cards? Because I put out in the last video about the U.S. economy, there was a Treasury auction a few days ago and 0 bidders. So the U.S. dollar, the U.S. economy is fading and going away. And now we have this also. And Stephen Banoun with Israeli News Live. Stephen was formerly with the CIA, now as the ministry, but regularly gets updates from the Pentagon. So he's been getting for 2 weeks. So that would be back to about mid-February of 2023, that the, wealthy families, we'll call them elite, families with money, also government, also shadow military, plus have been telling their families to move inland, move away from the coast. Now, Stephen is bringing this out, and this I've put out in a previous video about Russia planting nuclear bombs on the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean off the U.S. East Coast, and also the Pacific Ocean off the U.S. West Coast. They've been buried, we don't know for how long, and they can be remote activated. Now we know this also, that in the past year, we've had, so here is the U.S., here is Mexico, here is Central America, South America, Venezuela, plus that in the last 6 months we've had Chinese and Russian troops and planes and ships all in this area. We also now have Iran warships in this area. We have also this is coming out, Israel said in the past few days that Iran would have a nuke in 12 days. I've been saying for years, we've been hearing this kind of stuff for 30 years. It's my belief Iran has plenty of nukes underground in Iran. And I think that was the source for that. It was Mike from Around the World several years ago. In Iran, they have unique geology. So they can have bases underground, and we had that information coming out recently, Eagle 44 Iran base, and they were showing they had the planes in there, but that's all over, and they've certainly had nukes in that area. Now, we have that going on. So we have now certain things. Oh, and this is coming out about the banks canceling finance and credit cards with thousands of retail locations. Now, Turner was speculating, what if they're going to cancel all credit cards? And what if, as some sources, I believe Redacted brought that out, about the FDIC. I had other Patriot subscribers saying, don't rely on FDIC to cover all your losses. And we know that's only up to $250,000. Now, what Hal was intimating was perhaps a banking sector failing, and instead of giving people their money, and I'm assuming he's talking about money above, I think it's $250,000 per bank account insured by the FDIC, that the individuals would be offered stock in the bank. Now, this was just Hal's thinking. Okay, we have this. Also from Israeli News Live, Stephen verifies the U.S. government has signed purchase orders for uranium ammo to go to Ukraine to be used against Russia, and has verified, and I have other sources who are saying that the U.S. is sending the Abrams tanks, and they're sending in the U.S. military to operate those tanks. This is an additional source from Stephen, that those tanks are going to use uranium ammo, which Russia has said is the same to Russia as using a dirty nuke. And Stephen says, and other sources say, these uranium ammo can also linger in the air, the water, the soil, and cause mutations. Also, we have this from France. They're sending in Mirage planes to Ukraine. The U.S. is sending F-16s. And it's being implied there's no time to train Ukraine pilots. So it's NATO pilots who are going to be going into Ukraine, operating in the Russian no-fly zone. So I wonder how that will last. Okay, now Stephen's information for the past 2 weeks is for the elite, the people with money or hiring the government or military to move their people inland. And he's talking about Israel attacking Iran, and most likely It would be NATO and the U.S. government who would be assisting Israel in attacking Iran. And we know that Iran is now affiliated with Russia and China. And Stephen is talking about the U.S., according to the information he's getting inside the government, to be in World War III by November on 3 fronts. Israel versus Iran, China versus Taiwan, and Ukraine versus Russia. So that's going on. Now we have this. So we have Best and Taylor also having intel on the U.S. government, continuity of government, and rumor. We're still saying it's rumor that they're going underground by Sunday, which is March 5, tomorrow. So I say to my family and friends, remain steady out there, continue to pray. God is in charge and he is on the move. And may we ask God the Father to bless America and all nations around the earth and the people of all nations who simply want peace and prosperity. I love you, and I'll see you soon.